Hi guys! So today I am here with a new name video for you, and this is going to be part of a new series of videos I'm doing on rare names for every letter of the alphabet. So obviously I'm going to be starting with A names, and in this video I'm going to be talking about rare A names for girls. So none of the names I talk about in this video were in the top 1,000 for girls in 2017, which is the last year that we have the data for, and some of them were given to less than 5 girls. So some of these names are quite rare. I'd love to know what you think of these names in the comments below, as well as what your favorite A names are. Also, if you have any suggestions for B names that you think I should feature, rare B names that you love, let me know in the comments. Without further ado, I'm going to get started with my rare A names for girls. So the first name I have on this list is one that I have been really crushing on recently, and that is Afiya. Afiya is an ancient Greek name that means fruitful, and Afiya was the name of an early Christian in the New Testament, and she is mentioned several times by Paul in his letters. She's spoken of as being our sister and being dearly beloved, and I just love the language that Paul uses when he describes her. Obviously, Afiya was a very, very good person, and I think it would be a beautiful choice if you are looking for a very unusual biblical name that still sounds quite princessy and pretty. And I think it would be a lovely, lovely alternative to Sophia, because they both have that Fia ending, and only 13 girls were given the name Afiya in 2017. I think it's just so undiscovered, and I would love to see more girls with this name. The next name is one that I have loved for so long, and that is Araminta. Araminta is such a romantic name. It was invented in the 1600s and used by several authors and playwrights around that time. Another great association with the name Araminta is that Araminta was actually the birth name of Harriet Tubman. I believe she was born Araminta Harriet Tubman. So that is a great connection to this name. It's also a great alternative to Arabella, which is a name that is rising quite quickly in popularity and is currently at number 157. I do think Arabella will probably become a top 100 name in the next 5 years. There's also a lot of other AR names that are quite popular at the moment, like Ariana and Aria, so I think this name would definitely fit in on the playground, but would still sound very fresh. Araminta, it's just so beautiful and princessy. The next name I have is Atara. Atara is a Hebrew name that means crown. It can be spelled with or without the H at the end. I prefer the spelling with the H. I just think it's so beautiful. Atara is the name of a very minor character in the Old Testament, so it is a biblical name if you are looking for a rare biblical name. And it just has a beautiful sound, and I love that meaning of it meaning crown. That gives it a little bit of a princessy vibe. And the spelling with the H ranked at number 1695 with 125 uses in 2017. So it is being used, but it's nowhere near the top 1,000. The next name I have is Anora. Anora is a medieval variant of the name Honora. And Eleanor and Nora are both in the top 100 right now, so I think this would make a great alternative to either of those names. And you can still get the nickname Nora if you are loving that. I think it would make a great way to honor somebody named Anne as well, and it would make a great middle name as an alternative to Anne, because we so often see Anne in that middle name spot. Anora is currently ranked at 1993 and was given to only 98 girls in 2017, so it's definitely nowhere near the top 1,000. The next name is one that I really think is very cool, and that is Atia. Atia comes from a Roman family name. It's of unknown meaning, but Atia was the name of a quite influential Roman noblewoman who was the mother of Emperor Augustus. If you've ever seen the TV show Rome, which is one of my favorite TV shows, it was actually where I first fell in love with the name Octavia. Atia was a central character in that show, and she's kind of portrayed as a little bit evil and scheming on that show, but records of the real Atia describe her as being a very pious, devoted mother and kind of the ideal Roman matron. So the show didn't quite portray her true character. So I think that if you can get over the association with that TV show, Atia is a very, very spunky name, and it could be a great aria alternative. Only 5 girls were given the name Atia in the US in 2017. So I do think it could be a very, very interesting choice. The next name I have is Alecha. Alecha is a Dutch variant of the name Adelaide. This name is one that is easy to spell and pronounce, and it fits in with more popular names like Alexa or Juliet, all of those Etta names that are very popular right now. Aletta Jacobs was actually the name of the first female doctor in the Netherlands, so it does have a bit of that girl power vibe going for it. There were only 25 girls given this name in the US in 2017, and I do think that this name is one that should be used more often. It has a great sound, some great associations, and it could definitely honor your Dutch heritage. The next name I have is one that is really flowery and girly, and that is Amaryllis. Amaryllis is a gorgeous Greek name, and it actually means to sparkle. The Amaryllis flower was named for a character called Amaryllis in an epic poem by Virgil, so quite an interesting way to name a flower after a character. I just think this name is so beautiful. It would make such a great unusual flower choice. You could get the nicknames Amy or Rilla, and I think that this name would make such an interesting middle name choice, especially if you're using a more conservative first name, something like Margaret Amaryllis or Catherine Amaryllis or Alice Amaryllis. I love the idea of using a very bold, flowery name in the middle name spot. There are only 67 girls named Amaryllis in 2017. The next name I have is one that would definitely be on my short list if I was having a baby girl right now, and that is Adeliza. Adeliza is a medieval form of Adelaide, and Adeliza was the name of several queens and princesses, including the second wife of Henry I of England. So if you love the names Adeline or Elizabeth or Eliza, this is definitely a beautiful option that is a little bit less common. I feel like this name is such an undiscovered gem. I feel like more people need to hear this name and use this name because it was only used 5 times in 2017. So I just feel like more people need to start using it because it's so beautiful. The next name I have is Amarantha. Amarantha is an ancient Greek name that comes from the name of the amaranth flower and means unfading or unfading beauty. There's also the Italian and Spanish form Amaranta, which is so stunning as well. I love that you can get the nicknames Mara or Amara. I love both of those names and that they could be nicknames. And this name, Amarantha, was given to less than 5 girls in 2017. So it's another one that's very underused if you want a beautiful, flowery, girly A name. The next 2 names I put together because they come from the same origin, and those are Anthea and Anfisa. Both of these names come from the Greek word anthos, which means flower or blossom. There's quite a few flowery names on this list. Anthea was another name for the goddess Hera, and Anfisa is the Russian variant of this name. I think both of these choices would be adorable for a modern baby. Athena and Thea are both gaining popularity, and I think Anthea would be a great alternative to either of those names. And then the more kind of exotic Anfisa could honor your Russian heritage if you do have any Russian heritage. I just think both of these names are so stunning. The next name I have is Apollonia. Apollonia was the name of a 3rd century saint. It comes from the name of the god Apollo and possibly means strength. I think if you love the name Apple, but you don't want to use Apple on its own, Apollonia could be a more serious full name to get the nickname Apple. Apollonia was given to 20 girls in 2017, so it's very, very rarely used. And the last name I have on this list is one that I've loved for a very, very long time, and that is Avalon. Avalon is the mythical island home of King Arthur from Arthurian legend, and it means Apple Island. This name just makes me think of fairy tales and of course Arthurian legend. It just has such a gorgeous magical sound to it, and I think it would make a great alternative to the very popular name Ava. I just think that Avalon sounds magical. It's been in my personal top favorites before, and it would also make a lovely middle name choice. It's still well outside the top 1000, and it ranks at number 1637 for 2017. So thank you so much for watching my video on unique A names for girls. Let me know in the comments what your favorite names from this list were, and if you have any suggestions for B names that I should feature, leave them below as well. Stay tuned for the boys video, and as always, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.